Hey there, Taurus. Welcome in to Great Awakener Ether Realm. My name is Kimberly, and I unfortunately missed the report last week. I was crazy busy at work, so I apologize. So I'm going to go ahead and go over last week, and then I'll just do a 2-week report, okay? But I am going to try to, get through it quickly. Maybe you can look at it and see if anything resonates with you from last week, possibly. We can do it like that too, right? So, we're going to start off on the 3rd on Monday, okay? Now, if you want to skip to, this coming week, obviously you're more than welcome to, all right? So we start off with the moon in Aries, conjunct Chiron and square Mars. So, Aries is your 12th house, all about your psychology, subconscious, things that you keep hidden from the world, but also things that are hidden from you as well. It has a lot to do with, patterns that we have, that we form during our childhood, right? It also has to do like with dreams and daydreaming, and you can also throw kind of epiphanies in there, things that come from the ether, okay, your gut feelings. So when we have the moon in Aries, your 12th house, you're more than likely you're going to be having a lot of dreams, okay? Your 12th house is also about rest, because the moon starts off, your first house is your house, and then it goes all the way around and hits all these houses. And then when it gets to your 12th house, you're tired. It's time for rest. And that's why it's always about dreaming and sleeping and such, right? Just your subconscious is the ethereal, okay? So more than likely, you're going to want to rest on Monday, Also, it conjuncts Chiron, which has been in there since 2018. So you're probably used to this energy, but it is the wounded healer. So you could be doing a lot of shadow work for these last many years, okay? And then it comes in to square Mars, which is Aries ruler. It's also the ruler of the traditional ruler of Scorpio, which is your 7th house as well. Okay, but Cancer is about your community, short distance travel, communication, early learning. So you may be having some, with a square that kind of causes a little bit of tension. Maybe a lot of tension, possibly, especially with, Chiron is at 19 degrees, Mars is at 17 degrees at the moment. So it just kind of went backwards from forming a square with Chiron. So it's still hitting that square, and then the moon comes in to highlight that. You want to look at the moon as like the reflector or the amplifier of emotions, okay? It amplifies everything. So let's say you do have a conjunction or an aspect between two planets, like, yes, that's already heavy, but when you have the moon coming in to highlight that at that exact same time, it's times 10, times 100, And since the moon is already ethereal, and it's also the, the ruler. I mean, we have a mutual reception here actually going on with Mars in Cancer, and then Mars rules Aries, and then the moon rules Cancer. So you have a mutual reception going on here, okay? So it just makes it just that much more, it doesn't have to be dramatic in a sense that it's bad, but just more like, ooh, what was that? Like you might have some really intense dreams, but it could have to do with your healing, okay? So Monday, you might want to be just kind of resting. Of course, this was a 3rd on Monday, so this is already passed. So if you remember anything from that time, let me know. We'll kind of go over it. Also, that Monday, Mercury trine Jupiter at 11 degrees. Aquarius is your 10th house of career reputation. Jupiter is your second house of values, how you see your self-worth, how you spend your money, how you earn your money. Okay. Gemini is your second house, but you're the natural ruler of the second house. So even though it's air and earth, you still understand this zone more than most people, because you're the natural ruler of the second house. Okay. So something could be going on with your value system and your career, how you earn your money and your career reputation. Okay. Mars is also squaring Chiron, which we already went over that. Okay. And then the moon moves into Taurus, where it almost immediately squares Pluto in Aquarius again. Okay. So a lot of emphasis on Aquarius right now, which is your 10th house of reputation and career. A lot of emphasis. Again, for quite some time now, all of the planets are going to be from Aquarius to Cancer. Okay? Until Mars, comes around to go back into Leo. This whole sector is going to be highlighted the most. Okay? Let's see here. Mars square Chiron. We went over that. Moon enters Taurus and then squares Pluto. And then Venus enters Aries. Okay. Again, 12th house. More 12th house emphasis, Yeah, I mean, we already went over that pretty well. But a lot of emphasis on your 12th house. Now, Venus is your ruler. So, you might be, you'll probably be having a lot of dreams, and it looks like probably a lot of good dreams, possibly how you could earn more money, since you are the ruler of the second house, and of course how you express your self-worth as well. Okay, and of course it could just be about love. Can't go wrong with love, right? Okay, on the 4th on Tuesday, Jupiter goes direct at 11 degrees. It's been retrograde for about 5 months, and now it's going to start coming direct and start retracing these steps. Again, second house, your second house of values and self-worth, okay? Earned money and the way you spend your money. Moon comes into square Mercury. Okay. And that happens on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we have a whole lot of moon stuff going on here too. We have the moon coming into square the sun. Again, all of this emphasis on you, how you project yourself into the world, and your career and reputation. Okay. Then it will sextile Saturn at about 18 degrees, 17, 18 degrees, sextile Aries, or excuse me, Mars, conjunct Uranus, and then sextile Neptune. A whole lot of moon activity on the 5th, and it's all in your first house. So you have a lot of emphasis on how you project yourself into the world, okay? And then with your career, and then your community sector is your 3rd house of community, okay? Also Pisces with Saturn and Neptune here. That's also your friendship sector, your 11th house, friendships, dreams, hopes, wishes. Okay? So Wednesday could be kind of a roller coaster with the moon just hitting so many planets at the same time, just like one after the other. And then the moon moves into Gemini, okay? Where it will immediately sextile Venus in Aries, your 12th house, and then trine Pluto in Aquarius, again, your 10th house. So a lot of subconscious work around your value system. Okay. 6 on Thursday. Moon, I went through that, and then the moon comes in and conjuncts Jupiter. We went through this in my last videos, but Jupiter is all about expansion. And, you know, it's in Gemini, your second house right now of earned income, your self-worth. So a lot of expansion, a lot of emphasis on how you see yourself, on how you see your self-worth, okay? And again, you're the traditional ruler of the second house, so even more so, right? Then we have Friday the 7th, Venus sextiles Pluto, okay? Now, Venus is your ruler. It also rules Libra, which is your 6th house of daily habits, work and health routines, okay? Pluto rules your 7th house of partnerships. Pluto, again, is in Aquarius for the next 19 years. It just moved in permanently in November. So you're going to be highlighting your partnerships with your career reputation for the next 19 years. There's going to be a lot of transformation in that area, okay? And then, you know, the moon comes into trine Pluto. Sorry, let me, I'm thinking of the moon, and it's Venus sextile Pluto. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Venus sextile Pluto. Venus, your ruling planet, sextiling your ruler of your 7th house in your career's reputation. Okay, sextiles are great. You know, they're very friendly aspects. You know, people working together is basically how you can look at a sextile. Okay. So that's on Friday, and it really does look like you're going into the weekend. It's going to be pretty nice. We then have the moon trining Mercury, okay, at about 17 degrees, and then it squares Saturn at 18 degrees, and then it trines the sun at 18 degrees. So that's what it's telling Aries as well. Like, there's a lot of emphasis between about 16 degrees and about 24 degrees. Like, if you have natal planets in those degrees, that they're going to get hit the hardest, okay? And that's why the moon just keeps coming in and getting hammered, like, in a row, because the planets are so close together in these degrees, okay? And then you have the sextile to Chiron at 19 degrees. And then the sun sextiles Chiron as well at 19 degrees as well, at the same time that the moon is coming in to do. So you have all of these sextiles and trines going on here. Again, like, it can't go wrong with sextiles and trines. So you look like you probably had a really good day on Friday. Let me know, you know. And then the moon comes in to square Neptune. Okay. Neptune is 28 degrees right now. The moon squaring Neptune is very ethereal, very daydreamy. Now, the moon in Gemini, you know, is very about, like, facts and community and, like, your early learning. So you're kind of, that's why Pisces and Gemini square, because they're pretty much exact opposites of each other. You know, Pisces is very ethereal, very, very daydreamy, as to where Gemini is about the facts. You know, so and very, very just logical reasoning. Yeah. So, but you have the moon coming in your value system, squaring Neptune in your friendships, hopes, and dreams sector. So, I don't know, maybe you could have somebody, a friend, coming and ask you for money. Learning a new way to earn money through your dreams, hopes, and wishes, or maybe through a friend, possibly. You know, something around those lines. Okay. And then Saturday, the moon moves into Cancer. Okay. And then squares Venus at 2 degrees here. Again, 12th house, dreams, subconscious, squaring. Cancer is your 3rd house of community. So, siblings, neighbors, okay? Something going on with your subconscious and your community sector. Short distance travel. We also have Mercury coming into sextile Chiron at 19 degrees. Okay. Again, a lot of emphasis on your subconscious and your career reputation. Okay, Sunday the 9th, we have Mercury conjuncts the Sun at 20 degrees. Okay, so that Mercury is going to now overtake the Sun. Okay. And again, that's in your 10th house, career reputation. Then we have Mars trine Saturn at 18 degrees. Mars, again, is in your community sector at the moment, and Saturn is in your friendships, dreams, hopes, wishes sector. We also have the moon coming in to amplify that trine as well. Okay, at 18 degrees that same day on Sunday. So, excuse me, my voice sounds like it's going out a little bit here. So, we also have, the moon coming in to square Chiron and trine Uranus in your sign a little while later. But as I said before, the moon acts as like an amplifier. So you have Mars and Saturn trine, which are two kind of opposite planets almost, because Saturn is very about discipline. Okay, it's about structure. That's where Mars is very passionate and intense. Now, Mars is retrograde at the moment, so it's more of an eternal thing going on here, but it has to do with your friendships, dreams, hopes, wishes, and your community. Okay. Maybe you might think about doing some short distance travel, possibly somewhere around there. We also have the moon squaring Chiron. Let's see here. Again, in your 12th sector and your 3rd. There's just so much emphasis. I feel like I keep repeating myself, but so much emphasis on just this whole half of the chart, Okay. Then on 10th, on Monday, the 10th, moon comes in and trines Neptune, 28 degrees. More emphasis on your dreams, hopes, and wishes. And then the moon comes into Leo, which is your home sector, your home and family, where it immediately opposes Pluto in Aquarius and trines Venus in Aries. So again, this opposition here between your home and family and your career reputation. There's, and then the next day we're going to have also a full moon emphasizing all of this. Okay? Just a lot of emphasis on Pluto, your the ruler of Scorpio, your 7th house of partnerships, whether it's romantic or business, and your career reputation. Also, Uranus is getting in on this too, which is the ruler of Aquarius, which is your reputation and career sector. Okay. Mercury comes in to square Uranus at 23 degrees. Okay. So you're going to have, you're having a lot of squares now. There were a lot of sextiles and trines, and now we're looking at squares. Squares and oppositions are come in to kind of wake you up. Okay. Kind of kick you in the butt is the best way to, people want to act like it's bad, but it's just to get you moving, get you out of your comfort zone. Okay. Then let's see here. We also have on Tuesday we have the moon sextiling Jupiter at 11 degrees, which again, your 2nd house of values and your home sector. Okay. Then we have the sun coming in to square Uranus as well. So just more emphasis on that career reputation. Okay. A lot of epiphanies, like Uranus brings a lot of epiphanies. And I've said this before, but it brings chaos, but it's so that you'll find a solution to that chaos. It wakes you up. It's called the Great Awakener for a reason. It wakes you up. Okay? And then we have Moon trine Chiron, which can't go wrong with trines. 12th house to your home sector. You might still want to be doing some resting if you can get it in there. Okay. And then on Wednesday the 12th, we have got the moon square Uranus, and then we have a full moon in Leo at 24 degrees. Okay. So Mercury is still close enough to the sun where you could consider that a conjunction, and then it makes this almost perfect square to Uranus in Taurus. We have got the ruler of Leo is the sun, the ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, and then the ruler of of Scorpio is Pluto. All of these fixed signs are all like getting in on this full moon. Full moons are all about making decisions. Full moons too. Full moons are about bringing illumination to a problem. Okay, how can we fix this? Fixed signs are all about finding solutions and sticking with it, making heartfelt decisions, taking in the most information that you can, and making a solid decision. Okay, not being wishy-washy. Like, you won't find wishy-washiness with fixed signs. And since you're a Taurus, I'm sure that you understand that, right? So you have all this emphasis on fixed signs. The only one that we're missing planet-wise is Venus, but we have Uranus in Taurus, so Taurus is still involved, So something's going to be going on between your home and your family and your career and reputation and how you project yourself into the world, okay? And your partnerships. Even though Pluto is over here, the moon still hit it, coming up to it, okay? So, and that happens on Wednesday the 12th, all right? So, Thursday the 13th, the only thing we have going on here is the moon moves into Virgo that night, and depending on where you are in the world again, okay? Then the moon moves into Virgo and then makes a square to Gemini, to Jupiter in Gemini. Now, after the full moon, the moon isn't making any aspects. It's called void of course. So all you'll have to really deal with the moon is just what happened here with the full moon, okay, on Wednesday. And of course, if you have any natal planets around 24 degrees, then those will get hit the most, okay? So between that time, the moon, before the moon hits the square with Jupiter, is going to be void of course, and the moon can just be the moon, okay? I've said this before, but you know, you look at the moon as an amplifier and a reflector. You know, it reflects the energy times 10, times 100, depending on the aspect, okay? So when the moon doesn't make any aspects, it can just be the moon, okay? You can just sit in it, and whatever happened here with this Leo full moon, you have some time to just sit in that energy and, you know, just think about it. Just feel it. That's what the moon is all about, is feeling it, okay? So, yeah. So you get a few hours there. Let's see, that is 24 degrees to 11 degrees. So you're looking at 17 degrees of void of course moon activity that you can just sit and feel your feelings, okay? So on Thursday the 13th, we have the square with Jupiter in Gemini. Virgo is about your children, romance, and creativity. Gemini is your value system again, your second house of self-worth. Earned money, how you spend your money. So you might be spending some money on a child or a creative project. You might be earning some money from a creative project, okay? Somewhere around there. And that's all that happens on Thursday, so we get a bit of respite from the full moon, right? Then 14th, Friday, the moon sextiles Mars at 17 degrees, okay, and opposes Saturn at 18 degrees, okay? So, again, you know, there was this trine. You know, there's still a trine going on, even though it's a degree apart. Like, you know, the slower moving planets, you know, take a little bit more time. You can kind of consider a trine for a few days. So then, you know, the moon comes in and hits that point again. And whatever happened here on, let's see, what were the days? Let's see, that would have been Sunday. So now we're talking about 14th on Friday, okay? You might be reflecting on whatever happened at this time again. Again, friends, dreams, hopes, wishes, and your community, okay? And this is your romance, children, creativity, okay? Mercury also moves into Pisces on Friday, okay, which is your 11th house of friendships, dreams, hopes, wishes again. Okay, a lot of emphasis going on here. There's so many planets like right there, you know, from, you know, just Aries to Aquarius. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planets and the North Node. So a lot of energy going to those 3 signs right there. Okay, and then so then the moon trines Uranus at 23 degrees. Again, we had the square and now we have the trine. So things will start calming down and you'll start being able to, whatever happened here. I explained this in my past videos, but you know, full moons are about illumination. Okay, it's illuminating something that's going on in your home and your family. Okay. And then, you know, when we get to the quarter moon, you know, that's more about accepting what is going on and possibly coming up with some kind of decision, formulating a plan. And then you get to the new moon, and that's like, you know, are we going to make a decision? You know, formulating that plan and actually putting that plan into action is what I'm trying to say. And then when the moon comes back around here, you know, it's go time, like, okay, you know, hopefully whatever happened here has been resolved, you know. So you have like basically a whole month to resolve what happened here, okay? You kind of got to look at your life like a clock. You know, like it.